Aloha. I hope you feel better. I hope this, I'm going to make this video kind of quick for you so it's just not something you have to watch 25 minutes of. I'm going to try and keep this underneath 8 minutes. The idea is the same thing that we do vertically on the piano, as you know, when we're doing our C, D, E crossover. The idea for our crossovers only really happen when we start doing our scaling exercises. The best way I can explain this is it's super functional to play a C major and hear our third finger playing the C, our open D, and then our second finger for the E, and then F. When we go to the G and then to the A, if I wanted to do 5-note patterns, I would have C, D, E, F, G, A. Now, if I were to play C, open D, my third note would be played with my second finger. If I'm doing C, D, E, F, G, A, C, D, E, F, G, A, D, E, F, G, A, B, all the fingers, due to the spider exercises, are already still ready to rock and roll. What we're doing is we're making the modes, as you know. So C major has C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. C major goes to D minor. D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. D minor goes to E minor. E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. So on and so forth, we'll build our modes. Problem is once we know all of our fingerings for all those modes in the C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Sorry, that was minor. Do, 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 using the right fingers. So once we get to that place, what we like to do to get stronger, faster, better, more efficient in note placement, picking, and fretboard knowledge, a lot of mouthfuls there, is to do something like a C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, and then C Lydian, C, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, then C Mixolydian, C, D, E, F, G, A, B flat, B. And once we have a firm grasp on all of our different modal structures that it can be used for C major and how to implement them, then we change to our sorry, that would be Aeolian. To go in order would be Dorian. So 1, 3 flats, 1, 2 flat 3, 4, 5, 6. That's not only just our flat 6, but it's our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6. So basically, it's a sharp 6. What we're going to be using here is having then our Phrygian, of course. We could do that in C as well. All these minor and major influences, if we could hear them in order, become our finger scaling, soloing movements. So the way that I like to teach this is to be able to do all those in 1-note patterns, 2-note patterns, 3-note patterns, 4-note patterns. Case in point, if I was in the key of C, I would have C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. That is a 7-note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 would be a 6-note run. So C, D, E, F, G, A, B. So C, D, E, F, G, A. D, E, F, G, A, B. E, F, G, A, B, C. So on and so forth. When I go to 5-note runs, C, D, E, F, G. D, E, F, G, A. E, F, G, A, B. What happens when I start doing these? I notice that I have to do quick finger movements to get back my finger, which was normally the finger that I would use to play those notes. So in C major, if I go 5-note strings, I have C to my major second, C to my minor second, to minor third, major fourth, major fifth. Well, now to do my 5-note run, I need to start it off with the D that's right below my G finger. It takes a millisecond to move from 5th fret on one string to 5th fret on the other. That millisecond is the difference between having a note functionally there and not. So if you're playing improvisation on the fly at a time signature that's like 120 opposed to 40 beats per minute, it's much harder to think outside of the box. So what I suggest to the suggestible listener is once you know your C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C with an open fingering, your C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C with your secondary fingering, and C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C with your third finger, wrong note, my bad. What we do is we combine those three to make it easier to do runs. So if I was doing a like a C major to an F, I'm still in drop D. So both of that is C major, Ionian, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Since I hear that da, 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 I quite literally can add that major seventh note, that B, into the whole thing. And since I know a major seven has that influence, I could have 1, 2, 3, 4, because that 4 is a relative tone. So when I'm doing this, if I was soloing and I chose to influence that Lydian structure, it would be odd for me to have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then use my same fingering for that flat G. So what, or if not to be correct, to be F sharp. So C, when I'm moving this, I'd have like a boom, ba, 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 boom, ba, 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 boom, ba, ba, ba. See how instead of playing with my fourth finger that I normally would with my Spidey exercises, that I did some sort of nifty slide in with my third finger? That changed the position of where my spider exercises actually will be, but I'm still centered off of this note. So when I'm playing in the C major right here, I'm quite literally omitting my first and my open, which means I'm going to be using C major in my second fingering. The only thing this makes sense with is when we're doing something in the example of, let's say, D major, and I wanted to play D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, I would have a Ti, do for my Ionian in the key of D major, formed out of my C major bar chord. But if I wanted to play a D major and incorporate that C note, that flattened C sharp would have given me my dominant note, meaning I could play a mixed Lydian mode over the top of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wouldn't work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 would kind of. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 1 2. That last step that I'm doing, that C there, can be played one of two ways. You can either use your open D, E, F, G, A, B, C, or you can move yourself up the fretboard, open D, E, F, slide to the G, then be able to change over into your second fingering for your minor scale. That might have been a little wordy. Let me show you an example. Here is D minor. All those notes in D minor were out of my do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, C major scale. I just did not use my C as my first point of inflection. I used my secondary point of inflection being my D. Open D over a D minor gives me D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. The caveat to being able to play these modal structures and knowing where your notes are is inconsequential to knowing where the feel is. So if I wanted to do it, all those notes I know, except for that note, that would be my diminished, but that could be my dominant resolution note. So my C is the note that I want to hover by. So this brings us back full circle to modes and why it was interesting. The bee's knees, the meat and potatoes of every mode, is the half-step venture. In C, it's the E to F or the B to C. In the key of D, it's the E to the F sharp, or the E sharp to the F. The F, E to the F sharp. So long story short is when we do these little movements, that's the caveat of the modes, which makes it so when we're doing something like Jack Johnson, let me get down to the drop D again. So we've got D, B, boom, I'm swinging all eighth notes here, but I'm only making contact with the 1 and the 3 and the and of 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So that pickup note is an and 2 and 3 and 4 and, which comes from the bottom of your third swing. 1, 2, and 1, 2 for the B, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's where the major theme comes from. If you put more of the inflection on the 8th note, 16th notes, that's fine. You'll have something like. See how 16th notes are just too busy. So when it works around that, the secondary finger, instead of having this E minor, we can have the E minor that's down here with this, should have been an F sharp, but now it's an E to a B to an E. On top of that, our backwards triangle, which also incorporates this E note right here. On the backhand here, we have a B, and then G. So there's our E minor. Bam! We can put our finger up top here for the G to give it full sound. And this looks exactly like the D minor. D major, D minor, move the finger over to the F and put down your D, scoot it up, D, E flat, E, F, F sharp, G minor, so on and so forth. So new chord of the day is just seeing your E minor as not being so much like just an E minor down here with this inversion, but yet a D major made into a minor, scoot it up, and then use your lower footing for, so in the key of E, your lowest note would be a G on the D string, your 4th string. Up high to G, G, F, F, A, A for the D. So, between that, the rhythm for the home, and then being able to play those new chord structures, here's what it all means down to. I hope this isn't too over the top. D major can move to an E minor. That E minor could go up a whole step to an F sharp minor. Then we resolve to the G. Now the G, if you don't want to hit this open D and have it ring unanimously, you can play that G and then that finger down. That gives you your 2 high, your what is that? Your octaves. Or you can just go ahead and complete the rest of that C major chord. And then put your fingers down here for a small bar. You just don't play the E string. Unless you bar the whole 7th and play a C major. Same thing. D, E, F, G, A. Then here's our B minor again. That minor shape that was down there for the E minor, F sharp minor, B minor. And then our last is going to be our diminished. Bar up the whole 12th fret. You're going to play the C sharp, and you're going to leave the 12th fret to give a G. And then you're going to have on the D string, you can run it all the way up to an E, giving us those backwards 3 notes. Kind of look like a backwards triangle, except for the triangle not being next to each other in a minor second fashion. That 1 note apart is a major step back. So sounds like this: D major, E minor, F sharp minor, G major, A major, B minor, C sharp diminished. You can also put your pinky over the top to get a nice loud tone, and that resolves to our D major. All right, all those notes that go within that are going to be our D, what is this? D, C sharp, 1, 3, 5, D, F sharp, A, E, G, B. All of these notes are going to stay in the same format. So that stretch is going to look like the bottom end of your D major here, or your C major. So if we take it from C, we'd have C, E, G, D, F, A, E, G, B, F, C, A. All right, F, A, C, F, A, C. So when we go through these, each one of these is going to line up with their respective tone to give us our majors and minors. And I think on guitar, that leads us into understanding a little bit more of what you already know on piano and flute and everything else. How the fingers go for your arpeggios, to start seeing your chords as more than just a D, but seeing your D major and your B minor as being interchangeable, and being able to take the inversions from that and seeing how close those are as well. D major, B minor, all based out of the B minor with the E minor bass, and then based off of the D up top. Fifth fret kind of D, using the A type of shape. So the cage system, it is working. It's just slow but surely. Caveat from this, go through your scales again. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, do, 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 do. When we're doing this, try with a pick to go down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And going through this process is going to help your right hand, left hand get together. Also, just these rhythm exercises of hitting individual notes is going to pay off when you're trying to do articulated individual notation, whether it's through full chords and using accent notes to move through that, or having an actual melody written. Either way, when you go into improvisational stuff in the end with this, it's going to make a lot more sense that your fingers are in the right position. You did a great job today. I'm sorry that you're not feeling too well. I hope you feel better. Remember that we're done here at this studio, and then I will see you at the new location next week. I'll give you a text too to make sure that we're in the right place at the right time. I hope you feel better. Aloha.